Hello John, today we're going to talk about a man that was born in 1873. His name is Father Willie Doyle. I think you have an article there. If you want to hold it up there, and we'll have a look at Father Willie Doyle. Okay, so do you want to discuss Father Willie Doyle?
Yeah, that's a big article about Father Willie Doyle.
Very big, yeah.
It was in the Catholic Times, and the Catholic Times of the 11th of August 2017. Now, he's one of many Catholic priests that I've read from time to time that did Trojan work, helping their fellow man in these times of conflict and wars that resulted in the deaths of many people, including this marvellous human being. Father Willie Doyle was born in Dalkey, County Dublin, and he became a priest, a member of a Jesuit, the Society of Jesus. Now, he joined the British Army as a chaplain. As I walked along Scandinavia, an army chaplain. The Irish Jesuit was the most celebrated of the Catholic chaplains of the Great War, and he died on the 16th of August 1917 in Ypres, where the poet Francis Ledwidge was also killed.
Okay.
Francis was killed, I think, in April.
We discussed Francis in a previous video, I remember, yes.
So this was the same place where Father Willie Doyle was killed, coming to the aid of a fallen comrade. Him and two officers went to help this fallen comrade, which he had done many a time, and they were killed by a German sniper. Now, by cutting a piece, now another thing that he did, which is really something kind of out of this world, shows the Catholic priests that we spoke about earlier, how they're being portrayed in the media in this country. But here's what he did. By cutting a piece of the side of the trench, I was just able to stand in front of my tiny altar, a biscuit tin supported by two German bayonets. God's angels, no doubt, were hovering overhead, but so were the shells, hundreds of them. And I was a little afraid that when the earth shook with the crash of the guns, the chalice might be overturned. That's what he was worried about, the chalice might be overturned. Round about me on every side was the biggest congregation I ever had. Behind the altar on either side, and in front, row after row, sometimes crowding, crowding one upon the other, but all quiet and silent, as if they were straining their ears to catch every syllable of that tremendous act of sacrifice. But every man was dead. Some had lain there for a week and were foul and horrible to look at, with faces black and green. Others had only just fallen and seemed either sleeping, more sleeping than dead. But there they lay, for none had time to bury them. Brave fellows, every friend and foe alike, whilst I held in my unworthy hands the God of battles, their creator and their judge, and prayed to him to give rest to their souls. Surely that mass for the dead, in the midst of and surrounded by the dead, was an experience not easily to be forgotten. Now, that's an example of the bravery of our Catholic priests. And that particular Catholic priest, Father Willie Doyle, in the trenches. Our Catholic priests during the penal times took their life in their hands to celebrate Mass on Mass rocks and all the rest of it, with a price on their head for any person to betray them, and some were betrayed and paid for it with their lives. Now, in December 1916, he was awarded the Military Cross. He was awarded the Military Cross, and he was nominated for the Victoria Cross, the highest honour. But what was against him was that he was a Catholic, he was Irish, a Catholic and a priest, and the chances of him getting the Victoria Cross was zilch because of that. Isn't that the shame of the establishment in Britain at that time, that they were so bigoted and blinkered when these men were paying, were doing such tremendous work and paying for it with their lives and bringing solace to our brothers and sisters in that dreadful carnage. It seems, but this is what, he was nominated but he didn't receive it.
You were saying there, John, and you summed it up well there, dreadful carnage. I mean,
correct.
War is not a natural place for a priest. It must have been very difficult for a priest to be amongst what you described.
Well, many of them were there. There's other priests, nearly too numerous to mention, that put their lives at risk and paid for it with their lives, helping their fellow man, bringing some kind of help, giving them the last rites. I described there when he said the Mass and the way he said it, and that system. And many of these lefties in the Dáil, and many of these other ones would put their lives at risk, as that priest did in that time. They weren't shooting, they were bringing comfort to the people. Here there was people that was going to be maybe good chance of being killed. The few that survived, it was nearly a miracle that they did. Now, perhaps the centenary of his death is a good moment to re-examine his life and indeed the cause for sainthood. His body was never found, but his name lives on. Now it lives on in this Catholic times. Fortunately, there are papers one can read. There are news channels one can listen to, TV. For example, the EWTN, the Everlasting Word, EWTN, the Putin News. They have news that has a Christian and a Catholic perspective. Marvellous news every evening at, I think, 7 o'clock, Monday to Friday. I watch it anytime I can, and various other programmes. There was a marvellous programme about Sister Angelica. She's dead now, but she was a great broadcaster. She was the one that founded this EWTN, and she spoke about Mother Teresa in Calcutta. She's a saint now, that looked after people that were in the most degrading positions. She saw Christ in them all. Now, a marvellous talk that I heard last night on the EWTN by Mother Angelica about Mother Teresa. Now, there's not too many other of these lefties and these anti-Catholic bigots would do what these nuns have done, and now there's convents all over the world doing the same thing for the downtrodden and providing succour in hospitals all over the world, especially in the countries, the developing countries that have nothing.
There's a stained glass window dedicated to the memory of Father Willie Doyle in St. Finian's Church in County Louth.
Correct, because it's in places like this that he's remembered. There was a book written about him by Alfred O'Reilly shortly after he had died, commending him. But I wonder how many people today can recall Father Willie Doyle and the marvellous man that he was, and perhaps hopefully be a saint in due course. He is a saint, he has to be in heaven, but that his cause will be as an example of what Catholic priests can have done in the missions and all over the world, and paid for it with their lives.
Thank you very much, John. That was a very interesting story about Father Willie Doyle.
Thank you very much, Oliver. Enjoyed talking about it.